white, and Gjakova, Nora.
Gjakova acting a little bit more actively on the mat number 1, trying to perform Eshiwaza. Just 1 minute passed from the fight on mat number 1. Still 0-0.
Gjakova, 20 years of age, so just moving in from junior. Still quite young, born 92. In the IJF Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi, 3rd place, 57s. When the Swiss Open and in London Prepares Olympic Games got a 3rd place as well. So that would have been a lovely experience, being at the Olympic venue. The World Junior World Championships, 7th place in 2010. And was awarded the IJF. This young lady was awarded the IJF under 20s top junior athlete back in 2010. So obviously feel that she's got a lot of prospects in front of her.
We are right now in a half of a match. A little bit of a tactical fight on mat number 1.
Very close.
Very close.
There's not a lot of action going on in this one. Very tight indeed. Still quite young, these two athletes. This year, both of these competed in Istanbul, where this young lady, Ilieva, she won. So they have had opportunities of competing. So obviously very cagey of one another and what they're capable of doing. Ilieva being the stronger of the two on paper, but it's very close indeed with these two. In fact, oh goodness me, that's a little bit of a swing around there. Flurry of action. Just over 1 minute to go and still very close. A Judo being awarded there to Nora.
Bílým kimono Mária Bojov, Ukrajina.
Very, very close. In fact, I can see this going to golden score, to be honest. It's very close. Neither one of them are opening up. There is a Shido on the ball, which makes there's a little bit of pressure there for Nora, but not enough pressure to make her change tactics within this match so close to the end of time. So 24 seconds to go.
I think you are right. No, this will end golden score.
Uchimata attempt, but still so far away. So we're going into golden score, and again it's going to be a very tight match. It's now down to error. The only thing that Nora has got at this moment, she has that Shido. Another Shido, even for both of them, would mean that Bulgaria will win just based on that in the golden score. So very, very close match indeed. And
but to be honest,
not quite sure which way this will go.
Until this situation, it's the second golden score match I see right now. And I think it's a good result of the competition, good result of the referees.
Yes, unlike the Olympic Games where there was a high percentage of golden scores and
the Hante situation.
Oh, it was crazy. I'm glad to see that isn't going to be that trend. Hopefully not anyway. Maybe we'll try not to speak too soon. But the way it started so far, the quality of judo has been outstanding. Very exciting matches and convincing wins for some of these athletes. Not one country at this moment is dominating so much as far as the wins. It seems to be spread throughout the countries that are winning their matches. So there's no real element of a country shining right now. But we're still early. First day, who knows? I would imagine the Russian team will be very, very strong, both men and women. I predict that. And obviously the Germans and the French tend to have some really good athletes.
Oh, we won't see any French team. There's no one from France.
No,
there's only one referee.
Oh gosh, yes, that's right.
I don't know why.
Surprising, isn't it? It really is surprising that France isn't here, considering they are a strong nation in judo. Did extremely well in the Olympic Games, and maybe it's a situation they're thinking about preparing for the future, sort of the long plan, and 4 years' time for Rio. But saying that is a good milestone event, isn't it, for these young athletes coming through for an under-23 Europeans. That's something, a question we should really ask, maybe Terry later on, why there isn't a French team. It must be the first time ever.
I don't know.
I can't remember a time of a Europeans or a Worlds, a major event that France has not competed. Very, very surprised. So we're still in the golden score. We've got 1 minute and 17 seconds and there's no score again. Very, very tight. Both athletes battling away as hard as they can. Neither one of them giving one, just opening themselves up enough to challenge their opponent. It's really going to, if it continues like this, it's going to a referee. And you know what? A very, very tough call for these referees.
Good arm lock. But Ilieva, Ivelina was able to turn over from the arm lock and change the direction of the...
So close.
So close to end the match, but...
Yeah. And you know what? I wouldn't like to be this referee. I really wouldn't. I think it's going to be a very hard call. If I was a betting person, Ilieva, for me, just seems to have put a few more attacks. Whether they were strong enough or not, I think as far as posture is concerned and looking the much more controlled, well, I think Nora Gjakova is most probably the one that looks more elegant and upright and in control. But as far as attack, the Bulgarian, I think. But it's like now that's not good, because that wasn't a grip and that could have caused her a Shido, and it does. But then it evens it up. She's very, very lucky that Shido wasn't on the other side at the beginning. That would have been the contest finish, but not good when we're looking at a hand tie.
Not good for the hand
tie.
Not
good for a hand tie. The last seconds of a match, and a desperate attack like that could have cost her. If the referees weren't sure, that's what's going to be swaying it.
And it will be the tough decision for the referees, because no one was clearly better.
No. But I think if they're not clear, that could seal the fate of the Bulgarian. But it didn't. The Bulgarian wins. Goodness me, well done. So a very tough, drawn-out match. 8 minutes there, and no score on the board. But a great win.